Oh no! What an ass whooping! That shit looked like Mayweather versus Guerrero. Shakur, Puerto Rican Stevenson just whooped on Teofimo Lopez. The judges had it 11-1. The judges only gave him 1 round. I gave him 3, being generous. Being generous. What an ass whooping. I mean, this guy, that shit looked like Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. Mayweather versus Guerrero. Shakur, Puerto Rican Stevenson turned Teofimo Lopez into an amateur. He looked worse than Cepeda. Teofimo looked worse than Cepeda. He looked worse than a Mexican pie. He better never go back to Brooklyn. I mean, that's my guy and all, you know, 2-time undisputed. He had a good run. He had great wins against Comey, Lomachenko, Josh Taylor. But the athleticism just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. And I can't even say that he was running. I can't even say that Shakur, Puerto Rican Stevenson, he wasn't running. He was right in front of him, counter punching, check hooking him, jabbing him. Boom, boom, boom. That jab was in his grill all night. He had more jabs than pupusas in Costa Rica. Oh, no, Honduras. Or, no, El Salvador. You know, El Salvador, Honduras, Costa Rica, they all eat the same food. Like, you know, pupusas. He gave him more jabs than pupusas. If you never had a pupusa, they're mad good. I know it sounds kind of funny, like pupusa, but it's like a patty with meat inside of it and cheese and beans. You know what I'm saying? This shit is slamming, and with like a red sauce. You know what I mean? But Shakur, Puerto Rican Stevenson just completely schooled. Not just schooled, he broke his face. This guy was like, by like the 6th round, he was leaking. By the 6th round, his face was leaking. I mean, you know what I mean? He went to war with Kambosos. He was leaking against Kambosos, but Kambosos was lumped up. Almost got knocked out. This was like a one-way fight. Shakur Stevenson had no blemish, no lumps on his face, nothing. He was just, Teofimo could just catch him with little body shots that weren't even hurting him. No power. Like, I mean, and his dad was telling him, put some power, son. Nobody in his corner told him, put your hands up and put that weight on him. You know what I'm saying? And if you lose a decision, at least it's respectable. But this shit was not respectable. You know, Teofimo, 2-time undisputed, future Hall of Famer. I don't know about now. All-time great, I don't know about now. I gotta keep it G. You know, that's my man's and all. And I'm gonna support him in his next fight. You know what I mean? But this shit was just nobody in the corner. Teofimo and his entire corner, they're all at fault. Nobody in the corner told him, yo, my man, you can't outbox. You can't box with the boxer. You're not gonna outbox Shakur Stevenson. Put your hands up. You don't have to like go straight 100% Mexican style Cepeda. You know what I mean? Pitbull Cruz style. But you gotta put some pressure on this guy. You gotta lean on him. You gotta make it a little rough. But no, he just stood, just like in the picture. He stood at arm's length from Shakur Stevenson, just getting jabbed in the fucking face and checked hooked in the face. And Shakur Stevenson wasn't even running. He's ran in many other fights. He wasn't even running in this fight. I can't even say he was running. He did less moving than even Terrence Crawford in most of his fights. He did less moving than Mayweather. He was just standing right in front of him, plow, 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 punching him like a dummy, punching him like a punching bag. Leaked his whole face, cracked his whole face. You know what I mean? I'm surprised he didn't stop him. I'm surprised he didn't drop him. Like, he could have. I mean, if he wanted to, he could have. But, you know, Shakur Stevenson is, like, too responsible for that. You know what I mean? But, I mean, like, The guy wasn't even, he's like right in front of you. Grab him up, you know what I mean? Rough him up, put your hands up, go, you know what I mean? He just couldn't cut the space on him. And I gave him the first 2 rounds, you know what I mean? Because they were close. I gave him the first 2 rounds, you know what I mean? Bro, by the 4th round, when you see that you're getting jabbed in the face, that you're not going to be able to outbox this guy, I'm surprised that nobody in the corner, not his dad, none of the coaches, nobody told him, yo, put your hands up and rough this guy up. And if you lose a decision, well, you know, they're not going to say that, but I was thinking, put your hands up, rough him up. Zepeda did better than Teofimo, made it a better fight. This shit was mad boring, son. And it wasn't really because of Shakur Puerto Rican Stevenson's fault. He didn't make it boring. He was just standing right in the pocket, just, you know what I mean? Boxing them, bow, bow, just picking them apart. Teofimo Lopez made it boring by not adjusting, not changing the game plan. Nobody in the corner told him to change the game plan. He didn't think to change the game plan. He just thought, oh, I'm just going to go from round 4, 5. It was obvious. It's time to change it up and make it rough. Make it a fight. Jermaine Ortiz in the previous fight in the undercard against Keyshawn Davis, Jermaine Ortiz made it a better fight. He got stopped, you know what I mean? But it was a respectable loss, you know what I mean? And I'm not even a fan of Jermaine Ortiz. But he made it a fight. He fought, you know what I mean? He got stopped like with 12 seconds left in the 12th round. Shout out to Keyshawn, the businessman Davis, you know what I mean? He just had too much power from him. But he was catching Keyshawn Davis. The guy in the previous fight before that, Carlos Castro, he got knocked out as well, but he made it a fight. Neither one of them, neither Jermaine Ortiz or Carlos Castro got busted up like Teofimo. This is the type of shit that makes me jump off a bandwagon. I'm not gonna jump off the bandwagon, you know what I mean? Cause you know I like Teofimo and all, you know what I mean, but. This is like a Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney type of ass whooping. And in the co-main event, Keyshawn Davis called out Devin Haney. That is a wrong fight for Devin Haney, let me tell you. Devin Haney is going to get stopped. But it was such a bad ass whooping that like, I don't know how I could support. I don't know how, like, it doesn't give me any excitement for the next fight. If it's like a close match and you lose the fight, or you get caught late in the fight like Jermaine Ortiz, you get caught with a punch, with a body shot, you know, you can't get back up, you know what I mean? But you fought 11 and a half rounds, you know what I mean? Jermaine Ortiz made it a good fight. That shit was a good fight. Go check out that fight against Keyshawn Davis. You know what I mean? Keyshawn Davis was up, no doubt, but Jermaine Ortiz, I gave him 4 or 5 rounds, you know what I mean? And most of the other 6 to 7, 8 rounds that I gave to Keyshawn Davis were close. You know what I mean? It was a fight. It was a good fight. People want a fight. You know what I mean? Like Lamont Roach versus Pitbull Cruz. It was a split draw. I mean, it was a draw, but it was a fight. Some people said that Lamont Roach won. Some people said that Pitbull Cruz won. But it was a fight. Like Pitbull Cruz against Gervonta. Like Lamont Roach against Pitbull Cruz. Like Lamont Roach against Gervonta. You want to fight. You know what I mean? You're a professional, bro. Even the, you know, like I said earlier in the video, I said that it looked like Mayweather versus Guerrero. Even Guerrero made it a better fight against Mayweather. You know what I mean? This guy, Teofimo Lopez, it looked like he took a dive. I gotta keep it G. That's my dude and all, but it looked like he went in there for a payday. Because all he did was stand in front of him and get punched in the face. And land a couple little body shots. They were landing on the elbows. I mean, the judges gave 11 rounds. 11 rounds to 1. Me being generous, I gave 3 because I'm a fan. Maybe I was biased, you know what I mean? But I couldn't give him more than 3 rounds. And I'm a Teofimo fan. I was trying to give him an extra, you know what I mean, 4 or 5 rounds, make it 7 to 5 or something. But I was trying to be biased, but I couldn't. I couldn't give him more than 3 rounds. And then that's being generous. The judges gave him one round, the 8th round. Oh, man. Like, how am I going to look forward to a Teofimo fight? He talked about 147. This man, like, took a dive. He ain't even... Bro, never mind the 4th or the 5th round. Let me end the video with this. I'm upset. By the 6th round, the 7th round, middle of the fight, you're fucking leaking. Your face is all lumped up. You know what I'm saying? You haven't won any round, or you haven't won more than 2 rounds. You know what I'm saying? And you're getting persistently jabbed in the face. How come he didn't think to make it a fight? Go out on your shield. Which Shakur Stevenson is not going to knock you out. Maybe you get a flash knockdown. You know what I mean? But Shakur Stevenson is not going to knock you out. Like, bro, this shit was like, put your weight, put your power on him. You know what I mean? Stay in front of, cut that space. You know what I mean? Push him against the ropes. Shakur Stevenson was even standing in the corner, waiting for him. And he wouldn't throw anything. Where was the jab to the belly that Teofimo always uses? Where's the jumping right hook? The jumping left hook? Where's he had no head movement, no defense. He just, no footwork. You know, all that moving around that he does, that he did against Barbosa, all that moving around that he usually does, his footwork is part of his game plan, part of his style. You know what I mean? Against Josh Taylor. None of that. He did none of that. The first 2 rounds, he came out aggressive. He would catch him to the body, and that's why I gave the first 2 rounds to Lopez, even though the judges didn't give it to him. But I gave them to him because he was catching him. Why didn't he continue that? In the 3rd or 4th round, he decides to just stand there, not press forward, not put his hands up. And this guy fights with his hands down. That's okay when you're fighting like, you know what I mean, like a slower guy, like a pie. But now with a guy that has a great jab, you got to know at least that he has one of the best, that Shakur Puerto Rican Stevenson has one of the best jabs in boxing. If you're fighting a jabber, you got to put your hands up, like Jermaine Ortiz. This was just, you know what I mean? This is why I don't pay for boxing. I don't want to take nothing away from Shakur Puerto Rican Stevenson, you know what I mean? He did what he had to do. Congratulations. I got nothing bad to say. I wish I could, because, you know, I'm like one of them kind of fans, you know what I mean? But I can't say I don't got nothing bad to say about him. He did his job. He didn't run. You know what I mean? He chipped him up. Just outboxed him. And it made it look easy. It wasn't even, like, he had a harder time against that Dominican guy. The guy, not the guy, not Zepeda, but the guy that he fought before that made him run all night. He had a harder fight against that guy. Like, I seen Shakur Stevenson have like 3 or 4 fights that were harder than this one. And you're supposed to be the champ. You're supposed to be the A-side. You're supposed to be the 2-time undisputed. You're supposed to be the bigger guy. I don't know, bro. Boxing is like dead. I'm so glad that Deontay Wilder is back, right? To carry boxing on his back again. Because boxing is dead. Because this new era of boxing is just garbage. Gervonta over here, who knows when he's going to fight. Ryan Garcia is going to fight Mario Barrios. Ain't nobody looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who's going to carry boxing? All the other guys retired. Terrence Crawford retired. Canelo retired. Like Usyk, you know what I mean? All-time great, but he don't speak English. He's like not even from here. You know what I mean? Like, and then so in the post-fight interview, Shakur Puerto Rican Stevenson, Conor Ben jumped in the ring, was calling him out. I don't really want to see that fight. I'd rather see Shakur Puerto Rican Stevenson against Devin Haney. But it seems like Devin Haney's going to go fight Keyshawn Davis, which is an even a harder fight for him, because styles make fights. And even though Keyshawn Davis don't got the same skill set of Shakur Puerto Rican Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis is way more aggressive. He's a red and got way more power. You know what I mean? He is going to stop Devin Haney and finish his career. That is going to be horrible. I hope that Devin Haney, you know what I mean, waits for Shakur Puerto Rican Stevenson. It's a bigger fight, a bigger payday. And if he gets, you know, outboxed, let him get outboxed instead of getting knocked out. Keyshawn Davis is going to knock out Devin Haney. He called him out in the post-fight interview. The Conor Benn fight, it's like not a big fight. You know what I mean? Where's boxing gonna go? You know what I mean? Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis, they still haven't made the fight. They're negotiating and marinating, thinking that they're Canelo and Triple G. What is going on with boxing? I'm like, that's why I don't cover boxing. That's why I haven't been doing boxing videos. That's why, because, you know what I mean? Good thing that Deontay Wilder came back to give it a little bit of life. I'm looking forward to that. Wilder Chisora, you know, I'm always looking forward to a Wilder fight. But besides Wilder, what is there left in boxing? Are you really looking forward to Shakur Stevenson and Conor Benn? Seriously? We still haven't gotten the Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, the rematch. At least there's a storyline there. You know what I mean? Whoa. Where's Gervonta? I was looking forward to a Gervonta Teofimo fight. But now I'm never going to be looking forward to that. And you know, let me finish off the video with this. You know, Crack Baby Wahid is not going to fight Shakur Stevenson. Like, we know that. You know that. We all know that. We're not, that's a good fight. That's a pay-per-view major fight right there. Shakur Stevenson against Gervonta right now. But, you know what I mean, we're going to get Shakur Stevenson whooping on Conor Benn. I don't care how big Conor Benn thinks he is. He's going to get schooled. And then what else? There's no middleweight. There's no welterweight. Who's the welterweight champion? Rolly Romero? Mario Barrios? Ugh. I'm so done with boxing. I mean, I still watch my boxing. You know what I mean? I still know what's going on and all, but it's just like I don't be feeling like passionate to make videos, and like I don't even go to boxing scene anymore. It's just like, it's like the old era, all the old era big stars are retired, and the new guys are just garbage. You know what I mean? Except for, we gotta give him credit, Shakur Puerto Rican Stevenson. He stepped up. He schooled Teofimo. I was rooting for Teofimo, but we got to give all the credit to Shakur Puerto Rican Stevenson. But it takes two to tango. You know what I mean? And Lamar Roach, Rolly Romero, Shakur Stevenson's, these are like not major stars. Like, these guys cannot carry boxing. Let's just keep it G. There's no welterweight champion. There's no middleweight champion. There's no heavyweight. There's no... The big divisions have no stars. Oh. Shout out to Shakur Puerto Rican Stevenson. He did his thing. And Teofimo, big letdown. What a big letdown, Teofimo. I mean, if you would have lost and it would have been close, I would have been like, you know, he was just a better boxer, this and that. I would have made some excuses. But I can't make excuses for this ass whooping, bro. I cannot make excuses for this level of ass whooping. 11-1? 9-3? I had it 9-3. I can't make excuses for that, bro. There's no rematch now. There's no... I'm not even looking forward to Teofimo coming back and fighting a pie. I'm not even looking forward to it because this is just such a hard... This is the worst performance of his life. Worse than Cambosa's. This was worse than Cambosa's. Because at least Cambosa's, you could be like, well, you know what I mean? It was close, and he almost knocked him out in the 10th round, and they robbed him. You know what I mean? And he had a health issue. You know what I mean? But anybody who watches that fight objectively sees that it was close. It was close enough. It could have been a draw. It could have went either way. You know what I mean? And it was an exciting fight. And it was a good fight. You know what I'm saying? You know, they went back and forth. But this level of incompetence, this level of not even, it's like he took a dive. It's like he took a dive. I'd rather watch a Chisora. I'd rather watch a Chisora fight. You know what I mean? A lesser fight. I'd rather watch Pitbull Cruz. And at least Pitbull Cruz, win, lose, or draw, you know what I mean? He's not going to take a dive. He's going to fight. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I have no excuse. But that Teofimo just dropped the bag. Big time. It's all Teofimo's fault, and that's supposed to be my guy. I can't say Shakur Stevenson was running. I can't say it was the weight. I can't say it was an injury. I can't say it was a robbery. I can't say nothing, and I don't like that. I like when I can have an excuse. but I don't got no excuse. All credit to Shakur Puerto Rican Stevenson. He did his thing, and, you know, boxing is not looking good. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Thank you.